Willie D Live.
You know, you have to recognize where you are, who you are at this particular point in history. We're trying to work our way into the point where we can do what they do. But we ain't nowhere close to that at this point. We don't even have human dignity rights at this point. So what makes you think you can do what they do? You know, what is it going to take for you to learn? Well, I was telling Willie before. I guess the mic was on, but I don't do talk shows or podcasts anymore hardly, unless I'm getting paid for them. But I did Willie's because I've known Willie for so long, and I listened to some of the stuff that he says, and it is worth listening to, because you don't talk about a peach cobbler recipe. You talk about things that matter to us. So I'm happy to be here to do this with you, because it matters. And that's the only stuff that I do, is stuff that matters. And it's been driving me crazy, because most of the stuff that I've done in the last 10, 15 years has been independent movies. And those people, a lot of those people are so scared of what Master gonna think that they cut out all the good stuff, because they're afraid of what Master gonna say. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think Rocky was a good movie?
Rocky, I think Rocky was more of a spectacle. I don't think it was a good movie. I think it was all right. It was just something to watch. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't really nothing happening. There was no real stories, like well, not real stories, but there was no like boxing stories out there at the time, and this was one of the type of stories. It was a what do you call it, like a comeback victory type of. Everybody likes a victory story, right? But there was nothing else out there at that time, and I think Rocky came out at the perfect time.
Okay. You almost got there, but you're still skirting around it a little bit. Rocky is not an Oscar-winning type of movie, but it won the Oscar. Why did it win the Oscar? And I may be wrong, but I'm almost positive it won the Oscar. When was the last time they had a white heavyweight champion? 40 years.
Well, damn, I never even thought about that. All them damn Rocky movies. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
And that's fiction.
And that's fiction. But
that those optics mean something.
They mean something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The world knows who everybody is because of movies and television and books. Yeah. Rocky won that Oscar because they were thirsty for a champion. And the champion showed up, and they cheered. You know, brothers will come back from Vietnam and say, well, the Vietnamese women would come up to they try and get some Vietnamese women to go with them. Brothers would come back and say, the Vietnamese women would say, too biggie, too biggie, too biggie. And then they would want them to turn around and pull their pants down so they could see their tails. Because Vietnamese women thought they had tails. Where did you learn that from? Where did you get that idea?
Good old USA. That's where they got it
from television, from books.
Yeah.
That's how important this stuff is. And when they affix history to their liking by making movies about it. And if we don't learn from that, if we don't make movies that make us look like the heroes and not just 15, 16-year-old killers, and that's what I keep trying to teach these young people. But they're so afraid that Master ain't gonna like it. And yet it goes on, I've got 10, 12 movies on streaming right now. I ain't got a dime, but except for one of them. Not a dime.
And which one is that?
It's a movie called it's Blues for Life. And I get like $100, $50 every once a year. But the rest of them are making no money.
You wait a minute. You're not getting any residuals for none of these movies?
No. because
Not Speed.
oh no, that's different because that's a studio movie. Speed, no, all
Okay.
those movies, Speed,
Speed
and all those studio movies, yes, but all the independent movies.
Okay.
And I've got like I did a movie with that jackass Snoop.
Snoop?
Yeah,
You guys are Snoop and Jackass. What?
yeah. That's a whole different story. But oh man, my brain went pop up. But there's no money coming in, and I call these people and I say, "Where's the money?" So if you worried about the money, you're not making any money anyway. So why not show kids? What it's like. I appreciate Tyler Perry. I appreciate the fact that the man worked his way up from nothing to a billionaire. But the movies he makes are just terrible, and he's not getting any better. He's not trying to change. He's not trying to uplift what he's doing. It's time to stay. He's staying on the same dirt all the time.
What do you say to people that say? Because I've been lately, Tyler has been under attack more, more than normally, right? And so, what do you say to people who say that Tyler is telling our stories, especially Black women?
Oh, come on, please. That is not your story. That is not your story. Your story is a story of people who are survived and actually have done great things. That's your story. That your story is where you came from. I read something the other day that what's his name? What's that jackass from South Africa? Uh, the the one that runs around with Trump. That jackass.
Musk.
Musk.
Elon Musk.
He's the richest man in history. No, he is not. That's a lie. Mansa Musa was the richest man in history, but you don't get to tell his story because he's an African. That man was giving out gold when he took a trip to the Middle East. He was throwing gold to people everywhere he went. But see, you don't know that. These kids don't know that. And yet you perpetrate that same lie over and over and over and over. You get lied to daily, which is why I'm on Facebook half the time. Thank God for Facebook. I'm not on Facebook because I want to know about, who's got the best chocolate chip cookies. I'm on there because there are people who are on there who are teaching. You're a great example of that. You're teaching. Thank God you have your podcast because some of the information that you give out would not be heard